Hi everybody, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are having a great day today. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to School of Scarlett, the School of Unconditional Love. And if you are a returning subscriber or returning viewer, thank you so much for tuning back in. I'm so happy to have you here today. If you are a new viewer and you're tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you'll stick around. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about love, the heart, again, but we're going to be talking about winning at life. And I'm going to be sharing my own personal experience of really the chaos that my life was and the ways that I pretty much failed at life in a lot of different ways. Although we can't really fail, but it certainly is stark difference from working with the heart than working with fear. So I'm going to be sharing my story about my life and the things that I've experienced that have really got me thinking, hey, something's not right here, even way prior to the shift. So these are things that you can begin to ponder and you can begin to ask now whether or not you have had this shift or not. So stick around for that. Before we get started, I do want to share a little bit of updates for my unconditional course. We have some students going through the course now, and they are doing amazing. We are really getting into everything, and the shifts have happened. We are now in the process of working with the body, which the body is something that takes some time to catch up to. So I've made some videos on that. You can go back to watch that. But I want to send out an invitation again, once again, to y'all for the unconditional course starting 10/10. 10/10 is a portal of new beginnings. You can look into that number. It's a portal of new beginnings. But it is a number that I intuitively, had a vision over that someone would sign up. And so I made that course starting on that date with the price $99. That was all an intuitive move. It will never be at this price again. This is the lowest price. This course is packed with so much value, as far as everything, even from your own finances, that should bring lots of wealth and value to you regarding taking this course. So there is so much value packed into this that you will not be disappointed. So if you are interested in taking this course and you have been kind of thinking about it or unsure, this is a no-brainer. This is the time to sign up. It is at its lowest price. I don't even charge that low for my one-on-ones. So grab this now, get in on this course. We will be starting 10/10, and I hope that you will be there and that we will be in this collective together. So anyhow, let's get started on our video, winning and failing at life. So life is very interesting, right? There's lots of twists and turns and things that happen. And a lot of times we're not paying attention to everything that's happening. And they say, hindsight is 20/20, right? When we can actually see everything that's happened and oh, okay, that happened for that reason. Oh, and then I didn't do this, so that didn't happen. And you can kind of begin to piece together all of these things. Now, we're going to be talking very deeply in the story today. And what I mean is that really what's happening is this is all just an illusion, but there is the story that we are this person and we are experiencing this life. We have memories, we have even a lineage, we have DNA, we have our environment, we have so many different things occurring within this illusion. And all of these things appear to play a part in this, appear to play a part in this pattern of life, of the way things play out. And there's all the kinds of studies about, psychology, spirituality, all of these things that, are kind of all pointing to something, it seems like. Even science and math is pointing towards something. And so you want to really pay attention to all of these things, even art, poetry, music, videos, movies. Now, all of them are a little different. Some of them are not so full of as others, but they all contain some truths. So we begin to kind of see these patterns and think, okay, this is the way to win at life, this is the way to fail at life, and whatever. Generally, what we're paying attention to a lot of times is the illusion. We're paying attention to winning at life being something monetary, being financially well off. Maybe you think if you become a millionaire, billionaire, then you will be a successful person. You will be winning at life, let's say. Maybe you feel that, if you attain some goal that you've had, that will be success. Okay, so generally we have these notions of things that are outside of us creating success for us, creating value for us in some way, and making us worthy or valuable to others in some way. It's actually the other way around. So, actually, all of those things are coming out of fear because we're feeling unworthy. We're feeling not very, we don't feel that we have much to offer and we don't feel like we have much value, or we feel like we're messing up, or whatever it happens to be. So, we feel like if we had these things, then that would be a visual representation of our success. And so I wanted to share a little story with you. There was a man, and he was, coming to counseling and things like that. And it turned out, this man was very wealthy, probably a multimillionaire, maybe in the 100 million range or above. And this person, came from a culture that was a little bit stricter in a way. He came from an Asian background, but he was an Asian American. And basically, he had been working and doing a lot of things that he felt meant success. And his family was very proud of him. He had started a business, he had gone into sort of like a family business, but taken it to the States and had really taken off. And so, financially and on the outside, he looked very successful, and his family was very proud of him. Now, this man was coming to counseling because he was not happy. He found himself doing a lot of things that he didn't want to do. He found himself successful, but not in the ways that mattered to him. So, one of the things that really stuck with me that he said was that if I died tomorrow, my family and everybody that knows me will have thought that I had led the perfect life, the most successful, great life, the most full, beautiful life with successes and successes after another. And he said, but that's not true. So, basically, he's trying to say he's not happy. All of these things that other people think that he is happy about are not actually intrinsically things that he was interested in. So, not to make it very, much sadder or anything like that, but this man was thinking about really ending it. And really, he was in a very bad space. Yet he seemed to have it all. Come to find out, he was just having whatever his family wanted, whatever his culture wanted. He hadn't listened to not one thing that his heart was telling him. So he was so deeply conflicted and hurt that it was so painful, he couldn't feel like he could even go on. So when we do the simple thing of really working with our heart, because it's always there, and listening to it and beginning to shift our way of doing things, our reality, our exterior reality begins to change, and our interior reality, not just our exterior, our interior as well. Because what's shifting first is the interior, and then everything else projected out to you. So, this is just to say it's time to start listening to your heart. What is your heart telling you? Okay, so it's kind of sit with that. And when you don't know what it's telling you, sit with it some more, ask some questions. Some other things that I wanted to suggest actually was if you're not sure what your heart is telling you, because you've been so stuck up in the head, using your brain rather than your heart for decision making and things like that, then you're going to want to utilize tools like the School of Scarlett journal. This one is excellent for that because it already has the prompts in there. It has 111 journal prompts. And those journal prompts are meant to really ask you all these questions that your heart's trying to bring up to you, that information. So if you are interested in that, you can purchase that. You can look in my description, and you can also, I'll link it down in the comment section as well. And that's on Amazon. So it's a great journal for that. And that's one way that you can begin to kind of explore, what do I really want? Most of us do know. We're just pretending we don't. We're denying or resisting our true desires, our true selves, really, because this is something about you. These are things you were born with. So this is something you're denying about basically reality itself. So what's happening is you're in resistance to reality. And reality doesn't care about that, really. It's going to do whatever it wants to do. And you're going to be thrown into timelines and things that you don't want to do. But they all exist. And so does the version of you that has absolutely everything that you want. So, which version of you, or which timeline, or which life do you want to live? That's the choice. And the part about it is that fear has been instilled into us through so many different things that I talked about, even as far as like DNA, and all of these things are within the story. They're all illusions and things. But these are the things that we've believed. We believe that we've come from this horrific background, or that this has happened to us, or that has happened to us, or that there's these expectations really in this family, or we have to do this or that. Okay, but we really have to begin to discern for yourself. And this happens very early on, actually. I can remember very early on as a child really kind of questioning why people acted the way they acted, why they did the things they did. And it was very clear in my mind, I wouldn't do it that way. And I was a child. I was a child then. And I thought to myself, hey, like, why do they do things this way? It doesn't make sense. So, with that kind of innocent heart, you can really begin to see these things. And if you can remember back to some of your childhood, maybe those are some things that stick out to you. So later on, in childhood and stuff, you see all of these things. That's one place you begin to see it. But you begin to know within yourself what you prefer to do and not do. But our parents, authority figures, and things like that try to tell you what you should feel, what is acceptable, what is okay, and a lot of times they're protecting their own image, which they're in their own fear based programming. So we're basically being led by the blind, you could say. They're very deeply into this programming. And so right now we're coming into something completely different. This is a whole new realm of life, of way of being, but this is our true authentic selves. This is the true authentic way to be. And it's a very natural way to be. So you'll notice a lot of patterns with maybe the ways that people lived thousands of years ago. So you may notice some patterns here because at the end of the day, this expression that's appearing is a human. I'm not a dog. I'm not a cat. I'm not a whale. I'm not a tree. This is a human expression. And although I have a direct connection to source, I am experiencing source in an infinite fractal way as a human. That is one expression of its infinity, where there could be another expression of it as a dog, as a cat, as a tree, as a snail. So whatever is the experience at this moment, that is what it is. And if I am a human, then most likely I'm going to be doing human things. And that is very natural. That is very okay. And one special thing about humans that animals and plants don't have is this heart, is this knowing. And it's not always speaking to you in a verbal word way. It's like an internal knowing about which way you should go, what you should do. So that's something very special to being human. And it's time to really start being and shifting and sitting with what we have here. This is our superpower, where animals and whatever else, that is appearing does not have that. We do. So begin to use that today. Begin to use your heart to answer some of the questions you have. Begin to use your heart to lead you and do things and see where it takes you. Don't have fear. Have courage. Fear is completely illusory. As soon as you start going towards love, fear disappears. The separation disappears. These questions disappear. I often get some questions that are very long and just so many questions about things. Those questions disappear. Life is very simple. So, this is just kind of a short message to bring you back to your heart. It's waiting for you to reconnect with it. You don't have to wait on anything outside of yourself. Waiting on someone to come knock on the door and bring you the good news, or waiting on something to arrive, or someone to come and save you, or tap into something or learn something or get something. Gone are those days. What's left now is love, is your heart. It's all here within you. And when you realize that, there's no middleman. It's here. You drop from here to here, and then you live from that space, and life begins to show you how you're so supported in this, how that was your true path the whole time. So, to win at life, you must follow your heart. If you follow fear, you're going to fail at life because that's an illusion. It's not real. Only love is real, and the path that love takes you will show you that. And at the end of that path, you'll find out it was nothing, but it is all beautiful. And to get to that path, you have to follow love. If you follow fear, you're going to end up with depression, anxiety, addiction, sadness, so much that we try to avoid. Everyone's always asking the question, how can I be happy? Very simple. Listen to your heart. If you're listening to the external world, you're listening to illusions. Those are not real. Those are only projections of your current state of mind, of you believing that fear. That fear is completely false. Do not fear anything. You're completely loved. You're completely held. You're safe in everything you do. You're completely divinely supported. And so the best thing to do is just go ahead and get into your heart and start doing what you truly love. So I hope that you have the courage to do that today. I love you very much, and I hope that you will make that choice to follow your heart, because I know that when I started to follow my heart, all my dreams came true. So thank you so much for watching.